Some of you may have played sports growing up, whether it be for fun or competitively. It could be golf, tennis, football, basketball. But today I'm here to convince you that baseball is the hardest to be successful at in a multitude of different ways. Growing up, I've played baseball all the way up until the age of 17. So today I'll be talking about the difficulty of hitting a baseball, the reality of playing baseball competitively at a young age, as well as the professional dream, or so we thought. So starting off, the average 90 mile per hour fastball takes about 150 milliseconds to reach home plate. According to Eric Lobel, a journalist for PopularScience.com, he wrote that the actual amount of time that you have to make contact with that ball is roughly about 10 milliseconds. So it's no surprise that you're only going to be succeeding 3 out of 10 times if you're a good hitter. To put that in comparison with some other sports, during the 2020-2021 season, for basketball, the average field goal percentage for the teams ranged anywhere from 43% to 49%. And in football, the kickers' average field goal percentage, according to Nora Princati, she wrote an article under the NFL section of theringer.com that talked about the kickers' field goal percentages pretty much dropping since they had moved back the extra point attempts and whatnot, and their field goal percentage success rate was 83%. So as you can see, these numbers are drastically higher than a baseball player succeeding hitting the ball and making it on base. So growing up, I told you guys that I played baseball throughout my childhood up until the age of 17, and I played for a bunch of different coaches, and a lot of them had a bunch of different viewpoints on how many pitches a pitcher should throw. And Danny Knobler wrote an article under the MLB section of BleacherReport.com speaking about how Tommy John surgery, which is just, it happens primarily to pitchers, to where you tear the tendon on the inside of your elbow. So the surgery, they have to go in and they replace that tendon with a tendon from a different spot on your body. And a lot of times guys don't really fully recover, and if they do, then you can count on potentially having to have another Tommy John surgery if you continue playing baseball later on down the road. So in that sense, I mean, you can be a good pitcher. You can be successful in the sense that that you do well. But some coaches, it's kind of becoming a culture for them to sacrifice your playing career all for a simple win. So moving on, let's say that you do make it past surviving your own coach sabotaging your playing career because you are a good pitcher. Let's say that you're a good hitter and you get drafted to the major leagues. So everybody has this notion that professional baseball players make all of this money, but Brandon Sneed, who wrote an article on BleacherReport.com under the MLB section, interviewed Kyle Johnson, who is a AAA player in the Mets organization, and essentially he was playing for roughly about $12 an hour, and he's 27 years old, so he's in his prime. He's trying to support a family, and so these guys are making barely any money, all in hopes of making it to the big leagues where they will potentially make millions. But the sad reality of it all is that the majority of those guys never do make it to that level. So that's just another way that it is hard to be successful in baseball, because we all dream of when we're young that we can one day play in the major leagues and make all that money. So in conclusion, whether it's hitting the baseball, surviving the culture that is being established with playing competitively at a young age, surviving your coach, sabotaging your playing career just so he can get a win, and he ends up running your pitch count up and you have to have surgery on your arm, or whether or not you make it to the professionals, and you make very little money up until the point of you being at the very pinnacle, making millions of dollars. Baseball is an incredibly difficult sport to be successful at in a lot of different ways. And I know for myself, playing baseball all the years growing up, it'll humble you, and it definitely teaches you a lot of life lessons. So that is why I believe that baseball is the hardest sport out of all of them.